Today, we're going to trade better in the open field, courtesy of the guidance from this student right over here. It's Billet, the chef. You may recall in a recent video, he was on for his detailed math around QSH and exactly what combination of talents and accessories you should use because the rage really matters. Here, we're going to talk about how you can go from having your armies all spread out like this, which personally drives me kind of insane, to having them all stack up on top of each other so that they don't just get picked off and go out of position and do what you didn't want them to do, which is to go behind the enemy line. But that's just what they do when they're fanning out around a target. So let's see how we can hack this.
Learn how you go from this to this. See the difference? Usually your marches fan out like this when you attack a target, but with this technique you can manage your marches so that they stay in one spot. Okay, so Chisgule made a video about this technique a while ago, which is this one. By the way, shout out to Chisgule. And I also watched other people stream doing this exact technique, but nobody really explained how this was working. So I did.
You know, the funny thing is that I did actually see this Chisgule video, and I was like, that's some sort of weird bug that must have been introduced. I guess it'll probably get fixed or something. I did see that video, and I was like, oh yeah, there's like no way that there'd be some like secret jutsu to like break the game and have your marches stand on top of each other, right? So it is kind of funny that like, I guess that's been around for quite some time now, that you could do this. And I have seen 0 streamers do this, but also I put in literally 100 hours a week on YouTube right now between all the things I have to do. And so, yeah, no, I'm cooked. I don't have time.
Dedicated my own KK for some experiment, and through lots of trial and error, I figured it out. So first, I'm going to explain the concept behind it. Secondly, I'm going to talk about the risks and downsides to this. And lastly, I'm going to talk about how you can practice this exact technique. Okay, so let us start with the concept. In order to demonstrate, we can just go to the expedition mode to the last stage. And let me show you what's happening here. Here I have my 5 marches, all right? And then there, let's say this is enemy ball or enemy march. So what I'm doing here is that I'm selecting all of my marches, and I'm clicking in the middle so that my marches are grouped up like this in one spot, okay?
Okay, so far, stand all your marches together, step 1, okay?
And I'm closing in to the ball or enemy target, and once I touch the enemy ball, I'm just clicking in the middle. Right after I touch the target, I'm clicking in the middle.
Bro, that is so dumb. I can't believe this works this way. Oh my God. You just literally click. I don't think could you do this on a mobile device?
And I'm just leaving this like this. And all of my marches are automatically attacking this target, okay? Now what I can do is, if I want to go back, I can go back, click in the middle, group up, and once the target comes near, we are still attacking.
Jeez.
Okay, let me demonstrate again. Go back, click in the middle to group up. This exact concept is nothing new to the Rise of Kingdoms. It actually existed in game, but we just did not know how to, utilize this in actual battlefield. Just to show you a demonstration, this is the exact mechanism that we are using. So,
bro, are you about to chain barbs? Because I've done a lot of barb chaining in my day.
Here I'm just touching one barb. I'm pulling the barb back, right? And I'm positioning my march, and then that march is going to automatically attack. This is a quite similar mechanism that we're talking about here. Let me go back to the expedition and I will show you one more time what's going on. First, you are selecting your marches, right? You are clicking in the middle for you to group up. This is going to make everything easier, okay? When you are approaching the enemy. Now, once you have engaged in a combat, once you have done your very first basic attack, you are just clicking in the middle, and then you are just leaving it like this. And all of your marches are engaged in the combat, and we can also notice that this portrait line is actually directing towards the target that we are attacking. Okay, so this is kind of important because in real life, in real open field, this line is also going to indicate that whether your marches are in a combat or not. There you go. Here, my only zone is in a combat, and the rest of the marches are not in combat.
See, that's what I thought would typically happen with barbs. But whatever, again, it doesn't matter. But that's so easy. So you just literally just click to have your marches not surround the target, and then they don't. As long as your target's in range, though. So wait, we gotta see the explanation of why some of his armies are hitting here and some are not.
So now we attack, and then we click in the middle. We can see that all of our marches engaged in the combat. And also, let me explain one thing. So this white circle that you see here, I found that this is actually your attacking range, your auto attacking range. This is your melee range. All the enemy marches has this exact, white circle, and then you have this white circle. And the moment these two white circles touch, you are now in a range to engage in a combat. So again, let me demonstrate that.
So, okay, so all they have to do is walk into the circle after you've attacked the target, and you will automatically attack them. So you need to have actually tapped them to engage them. But after that, they just walk in range.
This enemy march is also going to have this white circle, right? Let me just attack this and then park my marches. So as you guys can see, this is going to be my white circle. And then we can imagine that there's a circle around the target. Pull one of my march out. So my Zhuge is now a little bit behind, not touching the enemy white circle. And now my Zhuge just went out of combat. This white circle is also going to be quite important when you are trying to set up this exact position. So that is pretty much the main concept behind this. First, grouping up your marches in one place, and then you are attacking enemy, tagging them in a combat, and then you are parking your marches in one spot so that they will start automatically attacking that target once they come into that white circle.
I can't believe that I've been playing Rise of Kingdoms for 6 years and we haven't been playing this way. I mean, I get that, okay, when I started playing, there wasn't even open field movement at all, but oh my God, that is so ridiculous. All right, bro, let's try it. Here we go. Group the armies. Let's swing in. We're about to double all our KVK trades for the rest of time. This is insane. I can't even believe this. All right, so we hit the target. And then I just go here. They kind of are not stacked, by the way. Go here. My armies are not stacking. Okay, one of them is being extra dumb and standing kind of far away. It is actually attacking, but I wonder if there's some leading army setting thing. Wait. Did I need to stack them on top of? My armies don't stack like his stacked. Wait, is there a setting that needs to change here? All right, so I'm messing around in the field now just to kind of see. But by default, it looks like the first army out is stepping in front of all my other armies, which is 100% not what I want in this instance. There's no such thing really as tanking in this game, so it kind of doesn't make any sense. But if I right-click enough times, they don't stand on top of each other. But if you do find kind of the right place, it can happen. So you can see here, this army is going forward in a way that I really don't want. And if I click back, it doesn't really solve it. But if I click, no, it's not really getting it either. There we go. It takes some real doing, but you can manipulate your armies to kind of stand on top of each other. I'm sure with some practice of figuring out the sort of hidden jutsu of right clickery, and I don't know what else to call it, you probably can nail it pretty regularly, but it does take some doing to kind of get them to stack up. And one of these armies, I don't know if there's a setting. Chat, do you know of a setting for this? I'll update the pinned comment. But one thing I wanted to see is, does this actually work with a barb? So if I hit this with all my barb armies, let's do the trick. So I'm right-clicking and it's not doing anything, and that's because I'm hitting the portrait of one of my armies. This is going to take some practice because you really got to force the game, I guess, to do something that it wasn't going to do. But you can see, look, some of them left combat already, but some of them are still in combat. Interesting. So I click here. So as soon as I've left combat, it's game over. But if I just go there, are they all going to hit? They are all going to hit. Okay. So we can get this to work with a barb too, for whatever that's worth. That thing you all really wanted to see. But I think it is kind of interesting, with the target moving. See, if I right click, it thinks I'm clicking the army, which I'm not. So you have to dodge all your other armies and things, little portraits to tap the ground. And see, I left combat by that point. One of them re-engaged, interestingly enough. I can have them all engaged, and then I can tap the ground again. So if I'm quick enough, it's easier to do because I haven't already spread out. It's way harder if your armies are already spread out, I think. So let's go back into the campaign here. Let's go back into Expedition, and let's try this again. I don't know. We can try it over here, I guess, with the same one. We hit start, and let's do this one more time. So grouping up initially is the key. And I wonder how practical this is when you're like moving around. Okay, yeah, we grouped up actually really nicely there. Not exactly sure why, but some amount of spam right-clicking seemed to do the trick. So if I'm moving forward, and there my lead army, I got it to back up. Okay. This is going to take a little bit of practice to find the secret hidden jutsu sort of spots where like you tap them and it just like, it does. See there, I thought I was doing what I wanted and now it's just not, but whatever. So now this guy attacked me, so I'm going to attack him. If I back up, see, it's still not doing quite what I want. This is definitely going to take some practice to figure out the sort of secret spot. And at this point, Huo has kind of left combat, which sucks. And if you drag onto the enemy, it does all your armies. Yeah, this is going to take some practice. It's not quite as simple as I would like it to be, but it is pretty achievable, quite frankly. So now we know how players were racking up way more KP than others with this secret technique. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's crazy. Wow, and see now we're stacked. But you have to stay in combat. So what I'd like to kind of try this with is like multiple armies and see how this goes. But this does seem pretty OP, truth be told. Oh my God. That is kind of disgusting. I don't know how well this is going to work doing this in this game mode here. How many armies can I get to fight? Let's find out. What do we got here? Oh yeah, plenty of armies. Okay. So, if I aggro one, is it going to keep doing this on all of them? Or do I need to like reselect? Let's figure this out. So I've right-clicked just the one army. Okay. And then I stand all my armies on top of each other. Okay, so what happens? I'm getting surrounded, but I'm not surrounding them. Okay. I've taken out the one, but you can... No, Huo's is still in combat. He's just swinging in a different direction. I mean, this seemed to have worked. I don't think I had to right-click all of these guys. No, several of my armies are in combat but aren't actually doing anything. So, okay, let's try it again. I think I do need to right-click them. I do, in fact, need to have right-clicked all of them to make this work. Wow. Okay. That's crazy. So we group up, step one, because it's easier once we're already grouped to avoid the sort of like weirdness of the lead army. So we've eliminated the sort of lead army effect. Then we kind of slowly go forward. Now I'm going to aggro ideally like every one of these armies. I'm going to have right-clicked all of them. And then I'm going to back up and stand. Okay. So theoretically, that's the thing right there. And now anytime one of those armies walks into my range, which like, okay, they're all going to stay in my range, I'll just attack them. But theoretically, all my armies should just hit all these guys now. And we should just cook. Which like, is that happening? No. Several of my armies are not engaged here. So I think there's a little bit to this that's going to take some practice. But of course, like I can always just right-click and retarget to group them up on top of each other again, which seems to be the way to do it. So you want to target a bunch of enemies and then stand still, but you want to keep targeting enemies kind of over and over. We'll go back to this level, I guess, so that you're going to stay in combat and you're going to switch between these targets when they walk into range. I think that's the play here. This seems crazy. I don't know that I could replicate this on a mobile device. I might just plug in a tablet and like try. but we'll see here. Let's give this a shot. So, you know, we attack this guy, and we just back up. Okay, so we group up. My army's being dumb. It's going to take some practice. And I only do this against one of the things I've basic attacked, interestingly. So I'm going to need to, like, basic attack something else. Right? Like, attack this guy and then back up. We stay stacked. I suppose the downside and part of being all stacked up is that you are all stacked up too. So you're not fanning out, but also all their AoE is going to land every time. Like, they will 100% land all AoE, right? Which kind of sucks. Is what it is. Stack up again. I think we're kind of getting the hang of this. I wonder if there's some better way to practice this. Maybe in an arc match would be the way to go. This is crazy, man. This is actually crazy. I'm definitely going to try this. In fact, let's try it on a mobile device real quick, see if we can replicate it. All right, here we go. Tablet time. We almost certainly need to do quick command here. I think we got to go quick command. We multi-select. Can we get them all to stand? Oh, yeah. Nope, totally doable. 100% totally doable. Bro. I wonder if these are the armies I used the first time I did this on this account. Bro, that'd be crazy if that's actually what this is. So we tap him, and then we stand still. Did it work? I think we did it. Bro, I think we did it, actually. We can move back here. Chat. Wow. Well. I mean, this benefits me profoundly, personally. It benefits you too, but like, as someone who has a buffing march, you know, if you use Philip, okay, especially if you use Philip Echelon, like this could really pop off, right? Because staying in combat and actually getting value from all the buffs is insane. Like, especially for like ring, this is going to be really good. Any overtime buffs, this seems really, really good. Well. Shout out to Billet for actually explaining this in a way that could help a pleb like me figure out what the heck was going on. It is really crazy that I like saw the Seawell video long ago, and I was like, oh, it must be some sort of weird bug or something. There's no way that there'd be like this OP thing that actually you just do better. And then here it is, and it is exactly what it is. GG, man. You joined the vid. Throw a like on here and subscribe, but more importantly, go check out Billet's video, all right? And go throw a like and subscribe on his video. Shout out to him for making this easy to understand and for popularizing this insane approach. I kind of can't believe it. I'll have a link to his video down below. You go throw a like on his vid, subscribe to his channel. That's absolutely insane. Card will be in the end screen as well. You can see his full explanation. I just reacted to kind of part of it there. So you got something more to watch if you want to go watch it. GG's. Until next time, you have fun smashing your enemies. Let me know how much better your trades are in the comments, because this is going to be nuts.